What if I told you there is a single Russian stretching practice used by Soviet soldiers, Cossack horsemen, and Russian wrestlers for centuries that has kept warriors flexible, mobile, and battle ready well into their 70s, and in many cases, beyond 80? You may have never heard of it, but it has been hiding in plain sight for over 400 years. And modern sports scientists, including Russian-born coach Pavel Tsatsouline, who brought this method to the West, have called it one of the most powerful single mobility movements ever developed. I'm talking about the Cossack Squat. In Russia, this is not just an exercise, it is a cultural inheritance. You can see it in old Cossack dancing. You can see it in Soviet military training films. You can see it in the warm-ups of Russian wrestlers, sambo fighters, and elite gymnasts. And you can still see it today in the strong, mobile elders of Russian villages who can drop into a deep lateral squat at age 75, 80, even older, and rise back up without effort. So, what makes this one stretch so unique? It targets a part of the body that almost no Western stretching system reaches deeply: the deep adductors of the inner thigh, the lateral hip muscles, the hamstrings, the hip flexors, the lower back, the ankles, all at the same time in a single ancient pattern. For most adults over 60, these are the exact areas that have silently locked up over decades of sitting, walking only in straight lines, and avoiding lateral movement. And when these areas freeze, the consequences are devastating: falls, back pain, hip stiffness, loss of balance, and eventually loss of independence. But here's the good news: the Cossack squat can begin to reverse decades of stiffness in just a few weeks of daily practice. No equipment, no gym. Just you, the floor, and a movement that the Russians have known about for centuries. Stick around till the end, because I'm going to show you exactly how to do this stretch safely, even if you can't squat low yet, with progressions that work for every body. Before we get started, drop your name and where you're watching from in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. The Cossack squat is named after the Cossacks, the legendary horsemen and warriors of the Russian steppes. Riding hard, fighting on horseback, and surviving brutal winters, they needed extraordinary lower body mobility, strength, and balance. The Cossack squat became their daily ritual to maintain these qualities, and it was passed down through generations. Here is what the movement looks like. Picture a wide lateral squat. Your feet are far apart, much wider than your shoulders. Then, instead of squatting straight down like a normal squat, you shift your entire weight onto one leg and bend that knee deeply, while the other leg stays straight out to the side, with the heel on the floor and the toes pointed up toward the ceiling. Your hips drop low on one side. Your opposite leg becomes a long, straight line extending out. You hold for a few seconds. Then you shift to the other side. It is one of the most beautiful, primal, powerful movements the human body can perform. And before I show you how to do it, let me share 5 reasons why this single stretch can change your hips, your back, and your independence for the rest of your life. Reason number 1, it restores hip mobility in every direction. Your hip joint is a ball and socket joint. It is designed to move forward, backward, side to side, and rotationally. But after 50 years of walking, sitting, and standing in straight lines, most adults only use a fraction of their hip's natural range. The result is a stiff, locked, fragile hip joint, primed for injury. The Cossack squat is different. It demands lateral hip motion, a direction your body has likely not visited in decades. As you shift to one side and drop low, your hip joint is forced to articulate through nearly its full natural range. The deep external rotators stretch. The hip capsule opens. The synovial fluid, the body's natural joint lubricant, begins to circulate freely. Within just 2 weeks of daily practice, many practitioners report a dramatic increase in hip range of motion, the kind that makes everyday activities, like getting into a car, climbing stairs sideways, or stepping over a low obstacle, suddenly feel effortless again. Russian sports scientists have studied lateral squat patterns for decades and consistently found them to be among the single most efficient ways to restore comprehensive hip function in adults of any age. This is your body remembering how it was designed to move, not just forward, not just down, in every direction, just like your ancestors used to. Reason number two, it releases the deep inner thigh and adductor muscles. Here is something almost nobody talks about. The inner thigh muscles, called the adductors, are some of the most overlooked, most chronically tight muscles in the body of older adults. Years of sitting, standing, and walking with your legs together has shortened them. Years of inactivity has weakened them. And tight, weak adductors are a hidden cause of hip pain, knee pain, and lower back pain. The Cossack Squat targets these muscles like no other stretch on earth. As you drop into one side, the extended legs adductors are gently, deeply lengthened in a way that nothing in Western stretching reaches. This release matters more than you may realize. Research on hip function in older adults has shown that adductor flexibility is one of the strongest predictors of hip joint health, walking balance, and freedom from groin and inner knee pain. Restoring this single area of flexibility can radically transform how you walk, climb, and move. Soviet military trainers and Russian gymnastic coaches knew this instinctively for generations. They built the Cossack Squat into daily training because they understood that without supple adductors, the lower body simply cannot perform at a high level for long. This isn't just stretching. This is unlocking a part of your body you may not have touched in 30 years. Reason number three, it builds single leg strength, which is critical for balance after 60. Most lower body exercises, including standard squats, train both legs together. But in real life, your legs almost never work equally. You step up onto a curb with one leg, you catch yourself on one side when you stumble, you stand from a chair with more force on one side than the other. After 50, single leg strength becomes the foundation of preventing falls. The Cossack Squat is unique because it builds strength through one leg at a time, while the other leg stretches. You get strength and flexibility simultaneously in a way no other single exercise achieves. This makes the Cossack Squat one of the most efficient movements you can do at any age, but especially after 60. Each side of your body is forced to support, stabilize, and strengthen independently. Your weaknesses get exposed. Your imbalances get corrected. Your stabilizing muscles, the ones that prevent falls, fire deeply. This is exactly why elite Russian athletes, military operators, and martial artists still use this movement today. And it is why so many strong elders in Russian villages remain mobile and balanced decades longer than their Western peers. This isn't just a stretch. This is asymmetric, intelligent strength training, hidden inside a beautiful, ancient pattern. Reason number four, it gently decompresses the lower back and spine. Most people over 60 have some degree of lower back stiffness, disc compression, or chronic tension in their spine. Hours of sitting compress the lumbar discs. Years of standing or walking and repetitive patterns lock up the spinal joints. And the result is the kind of low-level, persistent back tension that so many older adults accept as just part of aging. The Cossack Squat changes this in a beautifully indirect way. As you sink into the lateral squat, your pelvis tilts, your hips open, and your spine is gently allowed to lengthen and decompress in ways it almost never gets to. The deep psoas muscle, which connects your spine to your hip and is often the hidden cause of chronic back pain, gently releases. The lower back unloads. The breath deepens. Spine researchers have long noted that lateral, multi-directional movement is one of the most underused therapies for low back stiffness in older adults. The Cossack Squat delivers exactly this kind of movement in a single, beautiful pattern. After just a few weeks of daily practice, many people report waking up with less back tension, standing with more ease, and bending forward with a freedom they had forgotten was possible. This isn't just a hip stretch. This is a full spinal reset, hiding inside an ancient Russian movement. Reason number five, it trains real-world functional movement that walking, jogging, and even most gym exercises completely miss. Here is the deepest reason why the Cossack Squat is so valuable. It teaches your body to move in 3 dimensions. Forward and back, yes, but also side to side, low and high, with the kind of asymmetric demand that real life constantly throws at you. Picking up a grandchild from the side, stepping over a fallen tree branch, reaching down to a low shelf, catching your balance after slipping, lowering yourself into a deep car seat. Every one of these moments requires the kind of multi-directional mobility, balance, and strength that the Cossack Squat specifically trains. This is why Russian military trainers, who must prepare soldiers for unpredictable real-world conditions, have included this movement in their training systems for over 100 years. It is also why physical therapists are now using this movement as a key recovery exercise for older adults relearning how to move freely. When you train the Cossack Squat, you are not just training a stretch. You are training your body to age in 3 dimensions, to remain capable of meeting whatever life asks of it, for as long as life asks. Now let me show you exactly how to perform the Cossack Squat safely, even if you have not done anything like it in decades. Step 1. Stand tall with your feet far wider than your shoulders, much wider than a normal squat stance, about 3 to 4 feet apart for most adults, toes pointed slightly outward. Hold a sturdy chair, countertop, or wall in front of you for balance. This is critical for safety, especially when you are starting out. Step 2. Shift your weight slowly to your right side. As you do, bend your right knee and start to drop your right hip down toward your right heel. At the same time, allow your left leg to remain straight, sliding out to the side. The heel of your left foot stays planted on the floor. The toes of your left foot rotate upward, pointing toward the ceiling. Step 3. Drop as low as you comfortably can. There is no requirement to go all the way down. Just go to the edge of your range. You should feel a strong, deep stretch in your left inner thigh, your left hamstring, and your right hip and glute. Hold the position for 5 to 10 seconds. Step 4. Slowly press through your right foot and shift your weight back to center. Pause. Breathe. Step 5. Now shift to the left side. Drop the left hip down. The right leg straightens out to the side. Hold. Breathe. Return to center. That is 1 full repetition. Sets and reps. Start with just 2 sets of 4 to 5 repetitions per side. Move slowly. Use your support generously. Do this 3 to 4 times per week. As your mobility improves, you can drop deeper and eventually perform the Cossack Squat without any support. Fully open, deep, and free. A note for beginners. If dropping that low feels impossible at first, perform a modified version. Simply shift your weight side to side in a wide stance, going down only a few inches at a time. Even this partial movement begins the process of restoring lateral hip mobility. Who should avoid? If you have recent knee or hip replacement, severe arthritis, or major balance concerns, please consult your doctor or physical therapist before starting. Always have a sturdy support nearby. Pain is not progress. Listen to your body. So there it is, the Cossack Squat. One ancient Russian movement that has kept soldiers, horsemen, wrestlers, and elders mobile and powerful for centuries. What makes this so special is not that it is exotic or comes from a faraway land. What makes it so special is that it touches places in your body that nothing else reaches. The deep adductors, the lateral hip, the lengthening spine, the asymmetric leg strength, the full 3-dimensional mobility that modern life has slowly stolen from us. You do not need to be Russian. You do not need to be young. You do not need to be flexible already. You just need to give your body the input it has been missing for decades. Just 5 minutes a day, a sturdy support, a little space on the floor, and the willingness to shift, drop, and breathe like a Cossack horseman who has been doing this for 400 years. Within weeks, you will likely feel a difference. More mobile hips, a looser back, better balance, easier stairs, more freedom in your everyday motion. Within months, you may feel like a different person entirely, the kind of person who moves with confidence, no matter how many years they have lived. So tell me in the comments, are you going to try the Cossack Squat? Have you ever felt that your hips are silently freezing as the years pass? Drop your thoughts below. I read every single comment. And if this video helped you in any way, please hit that like button and subscribe to Sharp 50. Every week, I share simple, science-backed movements from around the world, all designed for one purpose: to help you stay strong, mobile, and free for the rest of your life. I'll see you in the next